Friends, you need to see this unbelievable moment. Even DeVille, a program that is a sanctuary of the left, is starting to question the progressive ideas that are sinking the Democratic Party. And look, when even they start to notice, it's because things are worse than we can imagine. Come with me and let's watch this spectacle of contradictions together.
What does the party have to do to reconnect with voters?
Go ahead.
Why are you asking the Republican? I think the Dems should start. I've got thoughts, but I'll let you start.
I can start. Look, young people were still the age group with the highest support for the Democratic candidate this year. So we can start there. I don't think that young people have necessarily left the Democratic Party. Yes, there have been some gains made by the Republican Party, but by and large, young people are voting democratically. The other thing that I will say is about AOC, she has been demonized by the right, and she's been demonized as this like too progressive, far left person. And I want to try to set the record straight, because if she is too progressive, then the Democrats really are going to lose the working class, because this is her platform. The key issues: healthcare for all people, affordable housing, rebuild the unions, federal job guarantee, free public college, create clean energy jobs, pay parental leave, and expand protections for the LGBTQ+ community.
We start with Sony, who lives in such a bubble, disconnected from reality, that even her fellow progressive colleagues can't swallow it. She's the one coming in with that talk of A or C. Isn't that a bit too radical? Seriously, Sony. So the hardworking Americans who reject this idea are what, ignorant? Guys, the list of proposals she defended is a horror show. Free healthcare for everyone. And who pays for that? Yeah, but it doesn't stop there. There's more. And now the real horror show begins. Affordable housing, destroying jobs under the excuse of climate change. It's just one of Sony's ideas. And the craziest part of all, taxing the worker to the bone. But the best part of all this is when her colleague comes in with a sarcastic tone and an ironic laugh and throws it all back in her face. The whole truth. This is actually a pleasure to watch. Watch.
If that is too progressive for this country, then that's a problem for the Democrats, and that's a problem, quite frankly, for this country.
That used to be a description of a liberal.
But the devils are also...
healthcare for all should be an everybody issue.
But the devil's in the details, because a lot of this country does not support, for example, the Green New Deal, which would absolutely crush jobs across this country, wreak havoc on the economy.
It would create millions of jobs, actually.
It would actually make international travel virtually impossible to do because of some of the regulations that have been in place. From my perspective, as a Republican who didn't support Trump, this may sound weird, I think Democrats focus too much on Trump. People who were going to be with Donald Trump were going to be with Donald Trump. There needed to be more of a, this is who we are, this is what we're proactively fighting for. And I can think of 3 or 4 policies that were laid out by the vice president. She talked about this support for elderly parents. She talked about these first-time home buyer payments. But they need a
opportunity economy.
But again, that's a platitude. What does it mean? You know, like, and I didn't know that by
a 90-page
But
white paper.
But in this world we live in, when you have 3 months especially, I don't know that people knew what she was for. And then a lot of her positions in 2020, she was on the complete opposite side of now.
Sonia is still trying to defend that the youth hasn't abandoned the Democratic Party. But guys, who is she trying to fool? If DeVille himself is already showing that the Democrats no longer know how to talk to the people, they want to push an agenda and tell us how we should live. And if you don't agree, you're the problem. And that arrogant attitude is exactly what got them beaten in the last elections. And if you don't agree, you're the problem. And that arrogant attitude is exactly what got them beaten in the last elections. And you want to know my 2 cents? I think they got what they deserve.
Well, I think Rahm Emanuel hit it right on the head in an op-ed for the Washington Post. He had 2 parts that really kind of stuck with me. He talked about with inflation stinging, school absenteeism skyrocketing, students' academic scores plummeting, Democrats consume themselves in debates over pronouns, bathroom access, and renaming schools, and adopted terms such as care economy and Latinx to win over voters. And I think what it comes down to is oftentimes Democrats tend to tell people what to care about rather than listening to what they actually care about. Because he goes on to say, you know, they tiptoe around issues like crime, immigration, homelessness, and then they quote stats, while meanwhile there's an uptick in carjackings and you have to lock up deodorant in CVS.
Crime is down.
But you're doing exactly my point here. What happens is each time people show statistics, everyone's saying crime is a problem. That doesn't make them feel better when you say, but it's not.
And we've reached the high point. Sony trying to convince the audience that the globalist plan is the future. And here, we're going to remember a bit of the ideas being defended, but the next statement is going to blow your mind. You're going to find out how they're trying to manipulate you.
One thing, Sunny, because I understand what you're saying about Western medicine, but there are Eastern traditions that are thousands of years old. I have a Chinese Western-trained doctor who has pointed out where the Western medicine gets it wrong.
Right.
We live in a country where crap is put in our food that makes us sick, and then pharmaceuticals come in and throw pills at it. So we're living in a cycle where it feeds the corporate greed to keep us not well.
I'm not against Eastern medicine, but I've been married to a Western medicine doctor for 26 years, and I trust him over anybody else telling me that what's making people have certain ailments, or if I need a knee replacement, I should just put maybe some kind of like herbal patch on it.
And in the meantime, the Republican Party, led by Donald Trump, has been growing. Because, yes, listen to the people. They're not trying to shove an elitist agenda down the people's throats. And the sweet base, led by Donald Trump, is the voice of the workers. They don't need pretty little speeches, no. What they want is results. Friends, what we saw here in this video is a clear sign that even the progressive strongholds are starting to crack. The left is so out of touch with reality that even its most loyal allies are starting to question. And you want to know, this is just the beginning. And there's no media narrative that can hold back this change.
This is what he's saying. And so for the people that voted on some of these issues, they're going to have a real awakening.
Well, I agree with you on that part. I mean,
2025.
people are going to be finding out now that the promises that he made, he's just not going to keep them, right? And for people who think that he knows anything about the price of groceries is just ridiculous. Do you really think he goes to the grocery store? Do you think he knows cereal costs about $7 sometimes? Do you think he knows that eggs cost about $3.65? Do you think he knows that milk is up to like $4.14? You know what I know? Because I was just in the grocery store because my kids are coming home and they eat a lot. He doesn't do that kind of thing. So prices are going to go up, not down, because he's talking about these tariffs and the tariffs, prices, eggs going up, milk going up, cereal going up. We import a lot of things, corn especially going to go up. Tariffs on Canada.
As for Suni, let's be honest, folks, she's always trying to downplay Donald Trump, forgetting that it was during his presidency that we were paying $2 a gallon for gas. And now, under the current administration, it's $4. It's unbelievable. What these biased journalists are doing to Donald. So share this video, and let's keep exposing the truth. They don't want you to know. Leave a like to support the channel. Thank you all very much. Until our next video.